Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're gonna make a little card for Halloween. I know it's not a common thing to give greeting cards in Halloween, but maybe if you're inviting a few of your friends over, it will be something fun to give to them. So we're gonna make a simple one. It's just gonna be a cute little broom, and I'm gonna be using my little palette here, along with my knitter eraser, my mechanical pencil, two of my brushes. This one is the number 1 script and the number 4 script, and a paper towel, and of course a clean glass of water. So I also got these cards from Michael's here in the USA. They are 3.5 by 5, and they come with their little envelopes, and you get 6 of them. So I think they're really nice. Now we're gonna start by creating our sketch. So first I'm gonna kind of find the middle of my paper, and then I'm gonna go up, and this is gonna be the stem of my broom, but I want it to be uneven, kind of natural wood, maybe a little bit broken, and then by the end I want it to be more skinny. Okay, and here I'm gonna make kind of like a triangle without the teeth, and then I'm gonna make a line, and this is where our bow is gonna go. And we can pull out kind of the end of the bow like this. This is gonna be like little pieces of the broom. And then for the bottom, I'm gonna go really thick. I want to give it like a base shape, and then I want to go and make little lines, uneven at the bottom, kind of curls down, and that's how my broom is gonna look. And this is just the basic sketch. Now with my knitter eraser, I want to go ahead and lift up some of that graphite. And we can start with the color. First I'm gonna do some burnt amber and mix it with my yellow to create kind of like a lighter brownish color and yellowish. So I'm gonna cover my entire stem, and I'm gonna end by where I started my triangle. All right. And now I'm just gonna grab my warm yellow and cover my entire room, kind of the bristles of it. At the bottom I want to be loose, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take my brush and brush it out. All right, and at the top we're gonna brush it out too. Kind of go like this. All right, that looks pretty good to me. Now I'm gonna wait for it to dry a little bit before I do anything else. Okay, now that it's dry, I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of that burnt amber, which is my brown, and go down like this, and then make more lines going up, random. This creates the texture of wood, and that's it. Now we're going to create that yellow and brown color again. And then we're going to do the same thing with the broom at the bottom, make lines, broken, thinner, thicker. You don't want to cover the whole thing, just make random lines. And make sure they go within the shape. So these are curved this way, these are curved this way, and these go kind of straight a little bit. All right, same thing at the top. You want to make sure you still see the other yellow. Don't cover it all. Okay. While that dries, I can work on my little tide. So I'm gonna do this one purple. I don't have purple in my palette here, but I'm gonna make it with blue and red. Okay, and then I'm gonna color that part. That purple might be a little bit too dark. That's okay. As you can see, my little kind of ribbon coming out. I make it thinner and thicker in some parts. Right. That looks pretty good to me. Now I'm gonna let it dry. Now that it's dry, I'm gonna create more details. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that brown again, and at the very edge, make more lines thinner than the ones I previously made. And once you reach the top, make a fewer, and this gives a kind of like shadow at the bottom here. And at the top, since it's kind of broken, I want to make some parts that are darker and then bring it down with broken lines. And that creates kind of the appearance of it being broken here. Now I'm going to grab some of my black and add it to the very bottom and the very center of these. There you go, that defines it a little bit more. Now that we're using the black, I'm going to go ahead and get some of it and define my bow here. So here's where the tide ends and the ribbons come out kind of from behind. So I'm going to make a line and then pull it out with clean water. There you go. Now with the brown again, more pigment than water, I'm going to go ahead and go at the very corner and start pulling it down again. Same thing at the top. And now we want to do some thinner lines all the way down. broken. I'm going darker kind of on the part that falls in to create volume. You need to move it around to make it easier. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Once you have this part done, go ahead and grab some of that black and make it kind of like a gray adding water, and then we're gonna create shadows. If you put too much water, always clean your brush and use a dry brush to lift it up. All right, same thing here. Some more over here. And that looks pretty good to me. Now let's wait for it to dry. Okay, now that it's dry, we can erase the graphite. And you can write Happy Halloween on it. And I'm gonna use my black to make the lettering. And now with a little bit of the white, I wet my white really well so I pick up more pigment than water. I want to make some details on the corner of the bow. Maybe here on my broom. Over here on my broom. And that's pretty much it for this holiday card. It's an easy and fun, beginner-friendly card. Now that it's dry, all that there is left to do is kind of erase all the graphite from everywhere. You can make your lettering thicker, thinner, a different font. And that's it for the holiday card. If you enjoyed making this card, I have others on my Patreon that you can learn how to make step by step, just like I did with the broom. And I hope to see you there. And other than that, have a lovely day.